I could almost imagine that opening. Or like there being some kind of lever. That's the first hatch. I do somewhat wonder if the second hatch could be past the first hatch. Like there was this one. It's almost... It almost seems like it's strangely glowing. Find the secret room in the hidden passage in the master's bedroom. It might just be in here somewhere. It might even be like here, but I found this already. And the puzzle box I opened here was listed as being an earlier one. This might be the most freedom I've had to look for a thing so far. Where would I hide a second hidden room? If I were eccentrically rich, but also had the child of a 5-year-old inventor. I know, that's kind of too many separations to make to even relate to. We've had tiles on the floor open before. Isn't super hopeful though. I don't know. I don't know. Nothing stands out to me as being useful. Or out of the ordinary. Or different. I don't see any instances of like what happened before with the gate and the wagon where it moved to give me access to a new area. And I've been up and down this place a few times now. Ah, blah. Whenever I go up that ladder, it freaks out about what lighting to use, and it starts losing its mind. Hang on. Ah, like an abduction. The door behind the door. Oh, this is it. This is it. I haven't been here before because these aren't lit up. Click, click. 18th of November. It has come to my notice that a crime has happened in the courtyard yesterday. It seems that Jack has lost an item of high value. I immediately realized the severity of this crime and committed myself to solving it at any cost. I asked around about the crime and gathered some evidence from Jack's house. This room will be my investigation room from now on. I have ordered Nellie to board up the door. I looked through the notes and the evidence all day, yet I have no answer. Perhaps a few hours in the basement will clear my mind. I went for a long walk today along the beach. I found some interesting shells, but I will examine them later. Today I went to dinner with a friend in town. I came 1 hour early. Seems my pocket watch has been set wrong. 1 hour wrong. I wonder how long it has been like that. Wow, it seems like they lost the thread of thought pretty quickly and started just wandering around. I think the clue is that there's going to be some other piece of evidence around here somewhere, and it's going to be off by 1 hour, and I'm going to have to correct it by 1 hour. Probably the takeaway from that. Eastern Post News. Robbers in town. Why, these look like they're pasted separately. That looks weird. 1 cent. Can I zoom in on this? Not really. Local daily delivery. Saturnia Jewelry, your ring specialist. That's like all they seem to think we can read. Hmm. Oops. It's showing me the stuff from the previous drawer. You can open drawers through drawers. It's a really weird thing. Alright, well. Yeah, that looks like stuff to look through. Let's get this out of the way. Before I have to do any thinking. There we go. I basically draw the shape of the order of the directions in my brain. That's basically how it goes. Saturnia delivery. 36. Okay. What was that? That must be important, right? The same thing as the daily delivery we saw in the other message. Yeah, I basically just draw the shape of the buttons in my head while they're coming out and try to hold that just long enough to make it through, which usually works. Oh my god, that's the hit detection? Aiming over here is doing that? Weird. Weird. Okay. Statement. Pearl. What did the box contain? Good question. Perhaps something precious, like a family heirloom. I know he has a locket from his mother. Maybe that's it. What did you do during the time of the theft? I was working in the laundry all day. I left a couple of times during the day, but I can't remember when. I saw you in the courtyard sometime in the afternoon. I heard someone dropping something in the laundry. Who do you think stole it? Maybe he was robbed. Did you see anything suspicious during the day? I did see someone lurking around the trees around the root cellar. Couldn't see his face from that distance. I saw Nellie hurrying off towards the estate, much faster than usual. A recollection of the day. At 11 o'clock I ate lunch. Now we know that he's an hour early though. So that means that's actually 10 o'clock and so on. So at 10 o'clock I ate lunch, which was strange since I usually eat at noon. I must speak to Miss Melly about this. It was not... Oh wait, no, her... Wait. It was 11 for you, but it was supposed to be noon. Meaning you came an hour early. Really? I thought your clock was fast, though. Didn't you show up an hour early because of your watch? But if your thing says 11 when you normally eat at noon, that would mean that you would show up an hour late if you showed up at noon, for example. So his watch made him think that his meal was an hour early, but then he also showed up an hour early when he should have been showing up late. I'm trying to think about this. Does this parse? Because he showed up an hour early to a meal that he went to when he was meeting up with somebody, which would mean that if he was supposed to meet at 10, then his clock would have said 10 at 9, meaning his clock is ahead by an hour. But here he thinks it's 11 when he's supposed to be eating at noon, and the implication is supposed to be that they are serving him at noon like always, but his clock is off by an hour. But his clock's off by an hour in the opposite direction, isn't it? Because, yeah, No, I think I'm right. Unless I'm just... I'm like triple checking this in my head and it still plays out that way. So either I'm delusional or this is wrong? I don't know. At 13:05, I looked over some sketches in my bedroom. At 13:30, I went to the courtyard to prepare for an experiment. I didn't see anyone when I went through the courtyard in search of the suitable objects for the experiment. I think someone was there, but I was too busy with my work to notice. At 14:10, I returned to the estate and went to the basement. At 16:30, I left the basement. Statement, Jack. When did you last see the box? I had it around 14:30, but then 10 minutes later, it had gone. I had left it in my cabin in the courtyard. What did you do during the time of the theft? I went to the root cellar to check on the rat traps I had laid there. It was around 14:35. I think I saw a woman down the courtyard, but I didn't see who it was. Did you see anything suspicious during the day? I did see someone leaving the estate later that day. When it was darker, that person was in a hurry. He went down to check the rat traps from 14:30 to 14:40, and in that time it was gone. I think someone was there, but I was too busy with my work to notice. This is the person leading the investigation, right? Searching for experiment objects? I think they stole... I think they're the ones that stole the document, and they just don't realize it? That the very person doing the investigation did it? Otherwise, why even set up this red herring of a... of the clock device? Statement, Nelly. What did you do during the time of the theft? I was in the kitchen to about 14:30. Then I walked to the courtyard to bring some bags to the laundry. The courtyard was empty. I went back to the estate around 14:40. So the exact period of time. I then left for my sister, who's been sick lately. Poor soul. When I left, I saw you leaving the estate with a couple boxes. I don't know what you were doing outside the estate with those things. Investigator comment, I was doing something very important. Yeah, so they say from 14:30 to 14:40 it was empty, which is what this, although I think that's, isn't that what I said? That's when I thought they were in the courtyard. God damn it. Why is his handwriting changing, by the way? Isn't this the same person's handwriting? You came 1 hour early. Seems the pocket watch has been set wrong. 1 hour wrong. Why were you an hour early, though? You should have been an hour late. Am I wrong about that? I think I have that correctly. They say that whatever was in the box is probably something precious. So that's Einar. It was Einar's investigation and Einar's journal. So yeah, those are both handwritten by him. Oh no, that's typed. Whoops. That's why the handwriting changes. Ignore me. It was a jewelry delivery. It's like double reinforced. It even says jewelry up here. Eternia Jewelry, your ring specialist. It was probably, I would guess they were ordering an engagement ring or a wedding or something like that for a proposal. Although if it's that kind of ring, why would Jack even put it down? Either way, I think I have everything, right? So I should probably wander on back and go talk to them. I believe I have all the documents I'm gonna need. So I'll head back, talk to Jack, and see what the actual method of input is. Or if there even is one. For all I know, the game will just be like, she'll just be clever and solve it herself. How many buildings have been burned down in this neighborhood? I'm convinced it's not just the one. So what did you find out? What was stolen? A ring.
A ring.
And who did it? Einar.
Einar.
So where is it now? The root cellar?
The root cellar.
No, you've got it wrong. Come back when you have it figured out. Where did Einar go? The basement. Oh, does that mean destroyed? Because it wasn't the basement burned?
A ring. Einar. Destroyed.
I've got it wrong. Let's test something really quick. Let's change the other answers. A lock of hair.
A lock of hair.
Miss Nellie.
Miss Nellie.
Sold.
Sold.
Okay, so they were telling me I'm wrong on the third one, so I was thinking that maybe that was when I was getting it wrong, but no, the first two could also be wrong. So I need to investigate better than this, because we actually don't know which part's wrong. Before I diverge too much from my initial assumption, let's read other people's statements and see if I can zero in on where Einar was. Someone's looking around the trees around the root cellar, couldn't see his face from the distance, saw Nellie hurrying off towards the estate faster than usual. Left for my sister who's been sick lately. When I left, I saw you leaving the estate with a couple of boxes. Don't know what you were doing outside the estate with those things. Something very important, claims them. They were placed outside the estate shortly after the thing disappeared. So what was stolen? A ring.
A ring.
Stolen by Einar.
Einar.
Einar. And it's outside the estate?
Outside the estate.
Yes, that must be it. Einar took my ring and brought it somewhere outside the estate. But where could he have taken it? Wait. He was doing something out on the island. One of his strange experiments. Maybe it's still out there. I might have taken this key too. Mess a little with him. Here, take it. Go bring back my ring, and I'll tell you Where to look for my sister? Your sister. Oh, it's just the freaking... the locked chest from earlier in the game. Time to backtrack across the entire map again, because every single objective makes you go across the entire map. Every single time. So I'm just gonna go across the entire estate, down the ladders, across the bridge, to the place with the 5 stones, with the brothers of the wolf. Brothers and the wolf. And I'm gonna unlock the one chest we saw there that I couldn't open before. I have the key, right? Okay. I had a moment of panic that it might have been on the table somewhere and I was supposed to pick it up as opposed to it just being in my inventory somehow. Okay. My first guess was correct, which admittedly wasn't even the most evidence-based guess. It was more to do with the fact that that Einar clearly has this whole twist set up of like, oh, my watch was wrong. And that'd be a surprising twist to set up if he wasn't the person who was guilty. But the fact that he himself led the investigation, but also wandered off and didn't actually accomplish anything, and his watch was wrong. Those two things combined, I'm like, he probably did this without even knowing that he was the one who did it. The narrative's too set up perfectly for that to be the case. And there's very little to grasp onto for other characters. At first I was a little confused what they meant by the difference between outside the estate and sold, because if something's sold, isn't it outside the estate? But I think it seems to be that outside the estate means more specifically like right outside the estate. As in nearby. Thank goodness for the sprint feature. Otherwise we'd be moving this fast the whole time. That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't know. Some of you really like scenic views and slow treks, but holy crap. We're starting to get into a little bit into Morrowind territory. Here we go. 12th of November. Today my experiment begins. I shall create a light reflecting device which will shine brighter than any lighthouse. It was a full moon today, and I have begun to wonder if the moon's shape perhaps has something to do with the amount of light that the lenses reflect. I shall make note of this and find optimal conditions. It was also a very windy day. Perhaps it also affects the amount of light. Wind? Unlike last week, the water level has been high. I shall take the opportunity to do an experiment every day while it lasts. I believe it gives the best results. Today was a windless day, but a cold morning. The moon was dark, but I still did the experiment to see what happens. It did not shine very bright as suspected, but it did show me a perfect hideout. I shall use this hideout for my new safe, in which I shall have hidden some valuables. The wind was harsh and cold today. A crescent moon gave some interesting results that lasted for a few seconds. Today was the first clear sky for the first time in several months. The water level was low, and I wonder if that might be optimal after all. I shall investigate further. It finally stopped snowing. Now I can continue my work on the island. It is cold, but my work is far more important than being comfortable. A clear sky with a full moon and a high water level seems to give the best results. No wind seems optimal. My work here is done. So clear sky, full moon, high water level, no wind. Seems straightforward. Okay. What do the runes mean? I think the line above the squiggle means high water level, like the squiggle is the ground and the water is the water or something. The moon and wind seem straightforward. Huh. And those are like runes he is seeing in each combination. Very useful. Okay. Am I to run the experiment? I have the lenses. Not here, though. Does it have to do with these stones here? I think the journal was mentioning them. Just plopped it right off. Lens. No. Lantern. Lens. No. Put the lenses in here. Okay. So we never reached that one. Maybe I can shine this one over there? Let's see, I think I should always shine it to the one that's like 2 to the side. 1, do. Yeah, that would loop all the way around, so... Because you can't shine it to the one that's directly to the side, left or right of the one that you're at right now. I think that causes a problem. Or you can? The exact limitations are a little confusing. Wait, which way is the light going right now? Is it... It is bouncing that way. I couldn't tell what direction it was going in, I guess. I'm gonna go with my original plan then. Which is to just keep going 2 to the side. These are the Lakestone texts. Einar's journal. There we go. It is currently a cloudy day. What moon do we have? Three-quarter moon or whatever it's called. And it's raining. Not a clear day. Three-quarter moon's not really an option, just half moons. Probably go with the one that's half moon plus wind or rain or whatever. Let's see if I'll write these down and see if it matters. Okay. I believe each of these are the symbols of elements of the solar system. I've encountered them before. I'm bad at remembering what they are. I know that's Earth because it has the prime meridian and the equator on it. Are those 5 on here? It goes that. Yeah, that's the H looking one. These are slightly out of order by that thing. Should I rotate it? I think I have it set up so it'll always light all of them up no matter what, right? Sure. They said that it lit up a hideout. I think that hideout's probably the important detail. Is it not just that? I feel like it's just that. Let's see. It's hard to tell what's going on. That's just shining back in that direction. For me, the idea is there one of these that can shine somewhere besides one of the other mirrors? They seem to just be shining at the other mirrors. But the idea is that one of them might shine somewhere else, and that would illuminate this hideout. And surprisingly, you can just shine them at everyone. Or do they each line up? They each do light up each one. The symbols are right? Like the symbols keep changing, don't they? They're actually not changing. It's the same 5 symbols every single day, just in a different order. That means that the order is probably really important. And I'm off by 1. And I don't think that anything I do changes the order of them. I think they're always in the same order. So I'm gonna write them down in the order that they're in, clockwise, I guess? There we go. Because I'm curious to see if any of the ones in Einar's journal match that order. So first of all, it's... What's the one with the dot? Is the one the dot sun? The sun? It might not be. I'm just gonna call it that anyway. So Earth Sun is the first one. So Earth Sun, that one works. Male, horse, female. First one works. That one doesn't. 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 Nope. 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 That one works. Earth Sun. Nope. Earth Sun. Nope. It has to be male afterwards. So the first one works. Earth, Sun, that. Huh. The first one matches the order of the symbols I'm seeing right now, but what if I'm just supposed to instead... It could just be, it's not necessarily that though, it could also be that like the order in which you light up the directions leads to the final one lighting up the hideout. So where was the message about the hideout? Today was a windless day, but a cold morning. The moon was dark, but I still did the experiment to see what happens. It wasn't very bright, but it showed me a perfect hideout. Use the hideout for my new safe, which you've hidden the valuables in. So that's probably where I get the ring, which I have not actually found. It was the windless day, cold morning. Moon was dark. So dark moon, windless day. What does cold morning mean, though? What does coldness of the morning have to do with the water level? Let's say high water level, perhaps? I'm drawing that sequence. But I think that's wind. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. What do these symbols mean? Because... Wait. Windless. Is the cloud... The cloud could be fog. If the cloud is fog, then the presence of the cloud would mean fog. I mean, would mean no wind. And that's the only dark moon day that has fog. Let's draw that sequence instead. Okay. Give that a go. Alright, so the first one is Earth. Which is actually where it's already pointed. I want to point Earth at H. I believe that's accurate. From H to U. I want the dot, yep. Then to the female symbol. Yes. Male. Aha. It's gonna be one of those rotating ones again, of course. Boy, is that hard to look at. That is very hard to look at. Damn. What am I looking at here? Does that fit together? Not really. I kind of just zero in on one particular spot and try to make the lines line up and then look around to see if the rest kind of fits, and usually it doesn't. And so the... is that it? I think that's it. Wake me up. Come on. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. None of it looks right at all. That's been true like the last few times too. There we go. There's the ring. Miss Nellie wondered about the stones out on the island. She said that she never goes out there because she's afraid of them. This is ridiculous, of course. There's nothing dangerous or strange about the stones. I had them made after a drawing I found in an old book. When I set them in place, there was a small red light, but I'm sure that it was only the sun reflecting off the water. The dead fish floating in the lake were surely caused by the long and hot summer. Nothing else. Oh boy. He's just recklessly recreating things that he saw in like weird Necronomicons he finds, basically. It'll be fine.
Finally, I had the ring. I wasn't sure why it was so important to Jack, but I just hoped he would be able to help me after all of that. Einar, that old man, sure was imaginative. I'm not sure that his light contraption would have worked as a lighthouse.
His idea doesn't even make sense. Like, it fundamentally. Just to recap, his idea was make a lantern and then shine a mirror, and then shine it into a mirror. Where's the... There we go. Like, first of all, you're brighter than a lighthouse. Like, isn't that the original idea of a lighthouse? Is just that? You can't be like, I'm going to defeat all lighthouses and then basically just start off with the basic idea of a lighthouse and then just leave it there. But he has the even crazier idea that he thought he was just going to reflect it off of what? Moonlight alone? The moon isn't even that bright. That's a terrible idea. Really feel like I'm being given the runaround here by all these naughty ghosts that want to tell me find my sister. She could be in danger and time is of the essence, and we've spent 2 days doing errands for a bunch of dumb ghosts because they won't help me. And for all I know, they can help me. It would have been more effective. Like, I feel like it's the protagonist's fault at this point. Like, it's their fault for not actually searching for their sister. They should have been searching for their sister for the last 2 days, but instead they're continually doing dumb things that have nothing to do with finding their sister. And she keeps falling for it. You found it. Thank you. Just leave it here with me. You need to get down into the well in the middle of the courtyard. But first, you'll need to drain the water. Find the metal cabinet in the laundry basement. After you've done that, Pearl will help you get down in the well.
What happened to Miss Nellie?
She was just gone one day. Pearl couldn't find her anywhere. I hadn't talked with her for a long time. She seemed a bit distant. Maybe she was behind it. After all, why would she trap one of her spirits in the basement?
What about the old owner?
The two of us didn't exactly get along very well. But for as long as he was alive, everything was good. Then it all spun out of control. Kind of a non-answer, isn't it?
How about you?
Not much to say. I'm a sentient typewriter. I used to live here in this house. And now I'm confined to my old typewriter. Without Pearl, I would never get outside.
What about Nora?
Be careful with that one. She is not as innocent as she seems. And That whole forgetful routine. I believe it for a second. But don't tell her that I know. What? You mean I don't believe it for a second? Or I don't know. Seems phrased strangely.
You and Pearl?
I love her more than anything. But lately, she hasn't been herself. Where was she going? Hopefully, this ring will set everything right. It's really weird looking how text will wrap. Like the word will wrap mid-word. And suddenly the whole word skips to the next line, but it's supposed to be a typewriter, and that's not how ink works.
I better get going.
Remember to be careful.